"16 minutes after 2, live on Asempa 94.7 FM. Yamunyina kwa babio. Ekosiisen M'Ahiasem yatenase. No nsiane fan na dwumadie ye ba wie. That's what the Ekosiisen M'Ahiasem 94.7 FM. Within your say bonsu from Yobi. On behalf of the team, the best production team in town, good afternoon to you and thanks for joining us. Dominic Kisi Yeboah, Nana Chumberuma, Nana Kwadade Yurenchi Jackson in Tiamoa, and I recopare DJ Queen's Japan. Omoboy and Yabum de Jumedia Bremo. Oma Hine Kwabana Santiat Nase and Cherry M'Ahiasem segment no Ebe Bremo. This show is live on a number of affiliate radio stations across Ghana. In Timor Tamalea, ABC Radio Suni, Salaga 48 or Can FM, O Sunyane Storm FM Suni, Brekume Haya Grow FM. O Akomadan Time FM and a Cruise FM, or Boise 48 or OFM, Ebia Ono Ejura, a higher JFM. More second D Takrade, I said that 105.9 FM Sony. I'm on the stations, no at door. So the last time I catch rail, say at the last count, now over 123 radio stations. And a Fedjumedie live in abroad into US of A, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Holland, in Chrono Edorso. Edamunyina Simamunyina Kwaba, Ekosiisen Sone, Ebiaono sharing online, facebook.com/Asempa 94.7 FM. Just like our page and get to watch our live streaming. Francophones Adaroma, any other live streaming. Ebremanyo Monkwa, Echelon Engineering Limited and Sobwaye with our live streaming. Or WhatsApp, send a message, a WhatsApp message 0546 382 287 0546 382 287. For messages, more and more Twitter, you can follow our live tweet handle at Asempa 947. Me and my personal handle at Philip Bonsu. Or Instagram, so Asempa 94.7 FM. Or call my joyonline.com and adomonline.com. Ubetimi and live. I just chanced upon this quote in the daily graphic of today. A quote by Bob Nestor Marley, a singer and a songwriter. Or say, the greatness of a man is not in how much wealth he acquires, but in his integrity and his ability to affect those around him positively. I'll take that again. The greatness of a man is not in how much wealth he acquires, but in his integrity and his ability to affect those around him positively. The Biameka say our purpose on this earth is to impact positively. In Jesus Christ, say you are the light of the world that speaks to impact. And to impact the people around you positively. Have integrity. And then some go up so yatna se ni yatna se ye be din komo onim se be 347 microfinance companies. A Bank of Ghana revoking one licenses. Yensem bebre. Make us say yes. Unim say hey me area me tea microfinance so can ho me hu ondin e wo list nim. But you don't know what next. And Sawasha Daily Graphic page 16 a kawa ha say insolvent microfinance companies to face court. Yet last week, the Bank of Ghana revoke companies in our license. At the banks no ashe receiver be ensa. Na receiver no Eric Nana Nipa. Oye Juma ewa Price Waterhouse Coopers. Eric Nana Nipa beka ensa ewa homane so. Ora Nipa akwa be Ekosiisen Suni.
Yenya.
Na me pacho wapo mu ye de.
Nyame adom bia boko na mo nso
Nyame adom ye ho ye papa. Enti my entias the announcement from the Bank of Ghana say ye revoke microfinance companies one licenses na ye the ama receiver and that receiver no was you saying
microfinance institutions no omo ntimi nye ejime biom say ejimana omuji sika ana mobo besiano omu ntime nye bio omu wie edru ena echenso say impinifo na no mudi ano no shareholders so directors so senior management so omu need to me bio omu need to me ombe bibia wejima ho bio na omu to me no Bank of Ghana they share receive an nsem into free if we other 31st of May echo a receiver no and on my instructions or no what to mean so and only so legal representative of all the companies a chance to say company no omo eka de no edo also saying sika ana assets omo wo ena action so say ebinom no omo ntimi nchi omo depositors ka enti eno ne receiver na ba na the receiver na ba ba ye ne say ye say ye take control over all the premises FM. And you take control over all the books of all the books and records of these companies, and you secure all more assets. No, since yes, and say I will say a ton, almost assets near ton almost assets na. Sikana ebinya no, and no na debate ya more companies no di omoka. And see ye chi omoka so ye womra ye dichi omoka na act 930 e chere na itichi omoka enti asia no say receiver ba enti say na receiver ne ba ye
enti basically receiver na we take over assets and liabilities of all the 347 microfinance companies sanete. Good. In the case of 5 banks, almost go through the same process. Bank of Ghana EPK receiver, but then consolidated bank coming up. And this our banks in share. In the case of 347 way, and also will there be a similar thing? See, about one microfinance company take over all these companies
Mpacho be very
okay.
5 banks now almost design treatment is different. And no share acquire mobile form now. You revoke license now. Bank of Ghana use the friendly purchase and assumptions agreement arrangement. And a Bank of Ghana they file so of our receiver in the case of UT any capital almost for GCB for deposits and of course in the case of the Unibank tomorrow kind 5 banks and almost they set up consolidated Bank of Ghana almost for valid deposits of these 5 banks and no strong. In the case of these microfinance institutions, I don't know, ye purchase and agreement arrangement. And no one say companies Bank of Ghana revoking license. The Bank of Ghana revoking license, buying a mobro or appoint a receiver, or make provision for Sika of in excess of 900 million cedis. Say, yemfintia depositors So, and say, I know Nijina so, I know this design. We in your purchase and assumptions, but I say, I buy now my 900 million. Say, yemfintia deposits to the extent possible.
Oh, okay. And 900 million, and num and depositors nisika sa 347 banks microfinance ne be fee aba na obi busa say yeah share number of customers by now munim number of all these 347.
Well, Mr. Hafini appointing.
Okay.
And Juma. And one of the key things are
yeah, what's how much?
So
and I would want to believe the total amount of deposit I was institutions in now and also intimate to a conclusion on how much, right?
Okay. Yankasa de in Bank of Ghana records no. Chese Sikadudoa these microfinance institutions no. A best 1.1 billion cedis.
1.1 billion Ghana cedis.
Ghana cedis.
Wow.
Per Bank of Ghana records. For a car almost deposits. I'm almost depositors. 1.1 billion cedis. Well, no. But the end of the day, say I buy my 900 million. And I young Kasan so Jima to verify the exposure of these banks to customers. And see, ye Jima, ye be who say 1.1 billion na say a bebroso. Oh, he drew her near betche.
And for customer be a OTO, ebia no what deposit in one of these microfinance companies, no. Bear time by na mobile start here to wonka.
Well, the Arishima Medema depositor customers, no. Say number 1, 900 million, no. Who share a Juma? Yeah, the yin you bet me, I say, to do na you from retail customers, no. You bet me to almost na do na as at now I'm Juma. But my name say ye cost you Juma no. You bet me to more Nina. Well, now come to your question. Said that Ben you bet me. I share Aketia Naseno. Yeah, share within the week. This week now, I'll say a share say omo claims no. Ya validate. Ya agree. Say yes. No quarry. Bank need the omoka or MFI is not the omoka no. The same amount of money no. Yes. You beat me to and you also your friend validation exercise. Now she also beat me very quickly. Need to say by the end of the week, I shall see each year or more you validate.
That's by the end of week, yeah, you will be
by the end of the week, or say a shall say
Mutia or more, yeah, they can validate, you know.
Oh my, yeah, they can validate you yes. Ya J Ekana Tumu. That is depositors. Now almost ye bit me chiano. Yes, Romu Bebre. So omo claim forms, any supporting documentation. Omo family or branches now. Omo ankas and omo pretty omo accounts.
Okay.
Your uncle or omo be process claims now. Now your form being so a friend or a claim form. Your friend no proof of death form. Na no be brave or branches no. Into omon koje normal fairly normal for supporting documentation in count. Normal some franco branches na omo koje no. Normal sa omo submit here. Your representatives never no. Omo be share so aye hu ejuma. Ye clear. And one say ya chiro omo say mo claims no ye pepepe. Into the nearest CBG or Consolidated Bank branch. The Becas or Monko Onkojo Musica.
Oh, okay. The other thing I'm a person may find out because who say 347 microfinance companies. What it means, they say savings and loans for your money can wait home, meboa.
Mpacho savings and loans in count.
Okay. Now, in the statement from the Bank of Ghana, say there are some other microcredit companies. Amongst you, about 39.
That's right.
Also known as money lenders. Some license now have been revoked.
That's
now,
right.
I'm told, sir, they are made up of 10 companies that were insolvent and had ceased operations, and
That's
29 other insolvent ones. It is our microcredit companies, no? Among no eka omu amudi won ho adwuma yi ho.
Mpacho microcredit institutions no. Omo nka ejuma mehwe so.
Oh, okay.
Omo die no Emma under Emrano at 9:30. Omo die no call Registrar General Department. Now Registrar General Mrs. Jimamo Owari. Ono na ode Emrafo fro behwe so aye omo ho ejuma. Nti a different from me remit.
Okay. Inti obi a otie ya no o save with the microcredit company no. And was all in the National Registrar General Department.
Sure.
Ekosiisen
M'Ahiasem. Okay, that's really interesting. Inti 347. Of course, yene Bank of Ghana for ebedi nkomo. Inti with wo de the person tia ne time mo be sha ase atwa no wa me hu say by the end of this week omo amatimi validate you would begin paying. And serve initial validation in no so mo na mo right?
Me pashoyan ye validation. Me no kasa this year.
Okay.
There were 420 personnel on the ground. Omu yejima. Omu shejima say from last week Friday. Oma yejima sa into almost no omu wo almost service customers no.
Inti and me just as part of my juma no mo be call into reasons why microfinance companies ekọ ahohihia omuwom sisi no say panyin bia anye na dwuma bi ye wabu mmara bi so ne ade a ye be ne den
me pa sure enu de be twi omaso e kan mejuma ho emra ne ma me kwan as receiver say transactions via entene no me ye investigations na me ye investigations na me hu say enye papa mitimi court sue nkofo na omoye corporate omoye concern no and you from a civil point then so me hwene a fraud a proper fraud criminal mitimi report it to law enforcement agencies no and no through with the consent of Bank of Ghana it refer to law enforcement agencies, any attorney general's department, no omoni or medi.
Okay, yenim say o to me na wo betumi aye, but the me pese me hu sisi an say wo be ye. Is there something you are going to do?
Me sure I'll do that. I have an obligation to do that. And I stand in fiduciary relationship with all the customers.
Yeah.
Me no kasano meka depositors or omuna yaya arrangements. But your other creditors are 900 no omo nkan bi. Omo be interested in knowing how we can pay them.
Other creditors no me pato e bi be hwan mo sa other creditors ne ye den.
Ye ka other creditors are trade creditors.
Yes.
Yem fan say we will be a MFI no na omo fuel.
Okay.
Creditor.
Okay.
Yem fan say we stationary more. Well, that kind of service. We clean him more so. Sanya mano. Omo nye depositors.
And omo 900 million omo nka ho.
There be omo nka ho kra.
Into 900 million, we mean say government intervention are buying this escanaba, say in taking care of depositors. No, how do we get that money back?
Well, how do we get the money back?
Because taxpayers' money.
That is true.
Yes,
it is taxpayers' money.
Yes,
but Abino, I believe, say I share a bigger picture. As you'd recall, no, we share microfinance institutions in Wokrom. Na ye be 566. Ne 566 no 347 ko forma. And say a system-wide issue. I buy it now, a bit me bringing down the financial system. And see, I buy on the strength of that, no. And make it provision to show up. Well, and see, on the balance, no, that is key and priority. Well, but regarding recovery, no, and no the end there through investigations, through, and then selling the assets. No, me sure say bit me make recoveries.
Me pacho inti for obi afe na wa join yen because my who obi send me message say I just joined in, where should customers go? Say who see and so am yen bia customer bia who sikada any of the microfinance institutions, a Bank of Ghana edu wondin to dwa. The first thing I was how yen say I was how call branch ana who save wo ho no meboa.
Me pacho
okay. And the okwa, what happens?
Now okwa your representatives were almost claim forms now for almost proof of debt. Almost the bemau. Almost the mawa. Now wakwa kofele. Now all the supporting documentation. Atara echi. Now one kasa was signed the Aba branch now. Ofa claim form
on Asempa.
Now all their my representatives no. No one so I shall see that is validation.
Okay, that's good information. And me pacho me no be na ansana no 566 microfinance companies in a country like Ghana. Na endorse dodo.
Pacho me personal view ne say a bit congested also. If it's a big countries, big economies, say South Africa, about specialized deposit institutions, and then banks are also, sir. And see, me feel say, there's an explosion.
Unshare books nimu anyway, but at least kakrana we hono. Then we have to revoke all these licenses.
Unfortunately, the huno. And yet peculiar to microfinance institutions, no, because other banks, you know, in private house now mention joint receiver for UT and a capital bank.
Oh, okay.
And see, there are so many things common to all of them.
On Asempa FM.
Number one, institutions, no MFIs, no, almost has serious problems with capitalization. Well, they were severely undercapitalized. That's number one. Number two, so poor lending and investment practices and decisions, and also affect companies. No, and then number three, in social systems and processes, very weak. Incidents of fraud and diversion, very high. And nothing so corporate governance very weak. Into all these factors to tour, Uchimu's company was very likely to find itself in a very bad place.
And it's sad why we are here, but at least for customers they should be rest assured say omo deposit the omo nsabeka after validation.
For retail customers, so far the retail customers, omo rest assured ankasa so omo nsabeka omo sika Syria.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
Yo, ora nipa ma yenase na yemfa ensi. Bibia tre yadwen a yebesan so aba ho bio na waboa yen. Why?
Yo, medase. That's fine.
Yo.
Mami Musa na say this.
Ora nipa pacho ho. Yeah, my colleague said Obusa.
Yeah, even if I that's what Nchemu come out there bread, but ordinarily me the Mebusa say you bet me about Mukwe do say Manamuntu in getting to this point has not been encouraging.
Okay,
what
Pacho I didn't know me person me further reasons and explanations.
Then I get it. Then I try to say probably.
No, not he thought that we had the Bank of Ghana
that's
on.
So sorry.
So
sorry. Yeah, so sorry.
It may fancy will come back to you some other time. Why?
No problem.
Me da say papa. Enti ora Eric Nana nipa receiver or no Price Waterhouse Cubes. And yene no ED and community ono na say adwumani na Bank of Ghana the ashanensa all the 347 microfinance institutions no. He is their receiver, and they are saying Bank of Ghana for, and they will rather tell us why we are where we are. But at least the most important things is here. And there's a wood here. Now we are a customer. Any of the companies at Bank of Ghana a publish one day. Na me pacho TNE my almost say once our retail customer na yadi usika ebekem into a branch na we save one or koho. Obekono officers be or more claims forms be near the validation forms into a movie they would validate if indeed say we seek our part no mujitum scan they would pay. And in fact wakasa or more validate on claims no by the end of this week now what you know on beshas here etumi etua wonka enti monsha nenso emfa my wasan wakase impanyifo a yebehu won say bank owners ne management for ne ade me say bank microfinance for no the laws will take a course on them inti yebehwe because yamani to me say apart from say otua amanfo ka no onhwe na after nhwehwemu no se ehu say obi aye neoma bi ensem fata e wo se mmara no ene no edi inti that's where we are for now ebi nso aka say inti ade na wasa ban 900 million Ghana cedis to save these microfinance institutions and I say to save depositors funds. The point really and I say these are registered and untina Koba I was say yeba any Bank of Ghana for bekano because these are registered microfinance. In fact they are licensed, and once we are licensed the state would have to intervene and make sure say yebenya bibi ede ama wonti ye hwese yebenya Bank of Ghana impenye for ewa homane so na yene won edi enkomo enti owura Bernard Otabel abekansa ewo ahomane so yenhwe ne yene no enkasa ono assistant meba na yahwe timi ato aso Ekosiisen so ne wa Asempa 94.7 FM se utie ya momfa mo messages emra na yentumi entiemo 0546382287 enti Bernardo Tabeli assistant director other financial institutions supervision department our Bank of Ghana Oro Tabel yemo akwa ba Ekosiisen so ni
thank you very much Mr. Michia efo
na me pato apomu ye de
pato bibi aboko
ye danyame ase enti edi kan the numbers are a bit alarming. Yeah, 347 microfinance companies. In fact, or more na insolvent, but we're still in operation. Yeah, 192, and or more na almost operations. 155. Obebusa say yes. We have the regulator, the Bank of Ghana. Then you bedu baby abedu.
Yo me da say. I'm here at you for Nesibium. I am part of 347 microfinance institutions. Yes, 5 million Bank of Ghana, every 2 almost 2 weeks now, Modi no Bank of Ghana actually assigned. Now, Obeka said, release in a summer, your church room, and the entire Yababidum Pempensua, Yababidum. Now, the true woman say, and yes, say, if push the button kind of approach, say, a bit one of press the button, say, 347 institutions in fee microfinance space, the municipality. Your church room, the tuja, the face, every is a time I am register institutions. One of the conditions is institution register any day to man. The issue of you work according to the
Ekosiisen
license. There are ways that you have to perform your activities. It's a examination and that's normal
Oro Tabel, your line no very terrible. Meaning so bit me at ya on Kakrabiama Yate Kenya.
Maybe I'm one baby interested.
Okay, Jina baby my yeah, I think it's better now. Maybe to me
is it better?
Yeah, it's better now. It's better now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a
Maybe to my metonka.
All right, thank you very much. And see, a woman say we are back near Benjamin, we are will see a year with Jumano. After your licensing, and your man was periodically with the Bear Bank of Ghana. Let's say you will say BP and Koye, and as I touch Macacra, you knew the who in Kitahobi. The sign Kitahono and your bet your Panya was a faso. Now we restore any identified weaknesses and as vulnerabilities now will be ano. Yes, wait and there was a faso. Now we make sure say you make good the identified infractions. Send a beya one casa would you man away a best winning and now you teach you on a Kofana would your move sika. I say would you many mono or mobile a regime say sika or the amount or monsa a besayaka. But you look at it that over the period, a binum into me and yet their if it catch almost on one. Now, Sana, you rightly mentioned, 150, over 150, exactly 155 here. Or what to show up on Namoko. And you only say, what to show up on Namoko? What did you almost get a deposit fund? That has been given to you now. Won't you and answer when you form a Bank of Ghana, which was even in breach of the law. Now, what to now call Omobaye thing and other circumstances. For ABA for actual all because I say a binum yamom according to the dictate of what he are expected to do. And I'm a bit of the but what should it say? They also say, and yet I will find that is what. 566 and Omuna Yaden Yakase Omunje Jumani. It's quite substantial.
Ekosiisen M'Ahiasem.
Now 30% Nakano also was a binum yet there was a omoye a fambra pine so making sure the intermediation rule 2 million they are more the way I person. Now when you are saying I will say Ekosiisen also who say in Kitahua regulator any the regulated firm, it's all based on trust. There must be mutual trust between both parties. Now, in all this, ethics guides everything that we do. When you are not ethically minded, on the part of the regulated institution, when you decide to say you will do away with all corporate governance provisions and do whatever Ufu said, and these are the kind of issues that a bit me about. When you are not so much built up in terms of capacity from the loan credit administration process, I be a loan origination, no say loan here be me. Obisika and a medical album to know no assign back. I can also pay the people when they come on demand. When you go out there to market now, we're promising for huge interest rates. When you say you don't have the commensurate business cash flow now, in order for you to make good the promise you have made on the other side now, sir and one fundamental thing also here when I say the whole responsibility. Also make sure so your business is properly run. It is going by the book and is doing so well. The ultimate responsibility is on the directors of our institution or shareholders. I give them to me say you should become the directors. The directors so I'm management. It's a whole agency relationship. I must say everybody in the chain. Also, upon homebody, no yet there also here. Into direct answer to your question, say you free a bedriano. Nipebia went to me and ye dear SSA omoye. And on my never do be a
Mr. Tabel, yes, Matidia, what can I say? But I wish I could agree with you because at the end of the day, say, Anki to me. near to directors so on what is right and probably in here regulator Bianca Bank of Ghana presence in the space no will not be necessary by a name say omun to me yentimi fa yen wura nhyɛ wo mu 100% no. That's why we had the regulator, and especially for momo division in charge of other financial institutions of the supervision department of bank no. For example, what banks are na insolvent into no ma shut it down munya adwuma bia na all this while na munim.
Yes, let me be very clear. Nyamika earlier talking about the ultimate responsibility.
Yes.
Sebi, and if we have policemen in every corner of our country, crime rate should automatically drop. You have people and they will always try to say they will beat the system regardless of what you do. Now the other part is that in all this, wherein lies ethics, wherein lies the corporate responsibilities. Now I will say, and you are absolutely right. For the simple reason, say also making sure that we have orderly entry and orderly exit. And you take the step says a more closely shop. Let's say more now. We still have to revoke the alliances and make the public aware. Say, was a now, the other thing I also may take a step back to explain a bit fully. It is not the case, push a button, kind of approach. You're sorry, and that you're about to close 347 institutions. Let me do a bit of explanation here. When we visit an institution, for example, through whether it's an on-site, examination being there and access some off-site review being here, and we see some sort of infractions. You say, a quiet institution in Amsterdam. Say, you're sure or the how on the bread depositors or the how the bread or there are so many things as prescribed by law. And quiet, and once a year, faso, any institution, no, a bidding it down. And you'll be a friend of prompt corrective action. You'll be you bet me a institution say, you see, and you say, capital cover no grand yet. Into the want to me and take new deposit, for example. You cannot open new branches. You cannot pay out dividends to your cancer shareholders. So many actions are bet me any institution, and all these are prescribed by law. Until we have to go through all the processes. Making sure say a crime piana institutional. For example, more capital restoration plans. Say you need capital, and most of them. I mean, if you don't have the capital buffer, you went in period of emergency. Then the only way is down. You are going to the insolvent. You run into liquidity problems. You do want to first semester, I think it's will be back want to meet you and no, I can't throw away. Then you are going to even have a run on your little institution. Now, not from liquidity problems, we also run into insolvency issues. The insolvency you do one there, there is nothing else that you can do. All these institutions now, say identity and it is necessary. Secondly, say institution could do baby, no person will take this action now. You take all things into consideration, and significantly also because say and I'm on a person who protect the depositors and making sure that they don't end up worse off. There must be physical resources available because in your Bank of Ghana and a buying and they taking upon say maybe also you're making sure that depositors are not worse off in this given situation, and that is why it has been. It may sound a bit, difficult from where you say it, in terms of your understanding of the way Bank of Ghana regulation. But let me just quickly chip in say the role of a central bank is about studying, thinking, and reflection, and most importantly also with supplication, with empowerment, because human behavior it is, credibility knows no bounds. And will be so proud that I want to why would the person if you are not criminally minded, for example? Yes, sometimes with the best of will, with the best of capacity, you run into certain kind of difficulties. But
the point still remains, sir. For the Bank of Ghana, and I think some admissions on your part and so will do, say maybe, just maybe, say 566 licenses for people to operate microfinance institutions in our country. Number nesododo into supervising them effectively, and especially I'm sure we unit, for example, minim staff a unit, but supervising all these microfinance institutions and sana other or more it's a whole job for you guys. Nti ebia kakra monso mutosin kakra mo antimi anye supervision ni unhuneza.
But that's part of this particular issue, and let me take some time. Let me check the dimension. The microfinance institution, in the latter part of 2000, you realize that there was so much talk about microfinance initiatives, not only in Ghana, globally. In the year 2005, for instance, it was declared by the UN, International Year of Microfinance. Professor Yanis of Ababe giving the Nobel laureate and all those things for his role in microfinance, where you are looking at micro loans that were helping people at the bottom of the pyramid to actually improve their lives, which is, say, 100 cities, 200 cities, maybe 50 cities. That alone can change Obi life. A bit Obi life as a fact. In Ghana here, in the latter part of 2000 and in the latter part of the 2000s, and you realize this, there has been a growth in businesses that are engaged in microfinance services. At that time, the Bank of Ghana Airlines until the promulgation of the Non-Bank Financial Institutions Act, Act 774 in 2008, and started the process of licensing microfinance institutions. So 3 years down the line, by 2011, now they are registered some of these institutions now who were already in the business of performing microfinance activities. By 2011, then we realized, look, it's becoming a legacy problem. So some of them, they didn't have all that it takes to be able to run that level of financial intermediation, be it at a very small level. Over time, and I realize this, some of them have even been drifting, their vision drift from the whole concept of microfinancing into other big ticket transactions. Now they don't have the capital buffer to support it. You should remember one thing, one fundamental thing, they be a maker about finance. Risk-based finance might be the same way as gravity-based finance. Every financial transaction, you are touching risk. If I'm doing nothing, sometimes involves some element of risk. If these institutions now will be a microfinance institution, when we are supposed to be micro supporting small businesses, SMEs, and all that, you see, when the banks are competing in a space that first you don't have the capital buffer to withstand any shocks that may come, threatening your ongoing concern, business, and then also opening yourself up to some level of insolvency. And that is exactly what has happened. Let me be clear, from 2015, and I will put a freeze on even licensing those institutions. So there's been a bit of introspection right here. When we've looked at the situation and said, look, these institutions are here licensing, it is becoming very clear. So we may need to sit down with them and get them to the level where they will fully appreciate, it is likely going to give them problems. So from 2016 to now, no other microfinance business has been licensed by the central bank.
And from 2015?
From 2016, yes.
2016?
Yes, from 2016. So
no new license we are.
Now, new licenses. So the institutions that you see now were there until 2015. Now we put in a freeze on the granting of licenses. So there's been that introspection. And as I've said, we've been providing them with the hand-holding. We've been providing them with the...
Are you saying by this, microfinance companies after 2016, no? Now, the license not to hold that,
all microfinance institutions that are licensed are licensed and regulated by Bank of Ghana, where having their licenses.
Ekosiisen M'Ahiasem FM.
Now, the license in the Daho.
The they were licensed. I mean, what's your definition of license made that whole? I don't know whether you became aware of a new institution that was licensed after the period that I've given. But the point is clear.
On Asempa FM.
Microfinance companies, in terms of licensing, from 2016, they're licensing microfinance institutions.
No, the point I was making is yes, I cannot contest someone licensing. What I know though, and there are some microfinance companies, I mean, Nima, 2017, almost set it up. And that's why I make a question, and not license, no magic that about no set it up.
Okay. If you give specifics there, then I can speak to that because we don't speak to conjectures. So when you give the right situation now, then we know what the scenario is. But I'm repeating, say, from 2016, we haven't licensed any other microfinance institution. Okay, but possible, say, maybe Obi our license, but maybe 2017 and Nipano started operations fully, right? There are provisions in the law also that goes against that level of dormancy. Say, Ubeje license and over a period of time, you've not actually started operations. Because the license procedure involves an initial provisional granting of the license, subject to the fulfillment of some other conditions. So in the whole licensing cycle, there are things that are expected on the part of the licensee. So I wouldn't, really, as I said, I'm not going to stick to conjectures. And okay. Or better license after then 2-3 years again, then it's quite unheard of. And then also, once you have licenses that come under our regulatory purview, there are certain prudential returns that also we send it to Bank of Ghana regularly, periodically. And therefore, if there is a case where you've been dormant, you would have picked up. And then the appropriate, action taken against that sort of infraction. And I say the breach, it's quite clear on that. And on the 566 licenses, not just the year within which period, and I'm our license, Nina. As I stated, from 2011 to 2015. 2011 to 2016. Because you see, again, let me be clear here. I spoke about the Non-Bank Financial Institution Act 774 of 2008. And now I started the process of licensing microfinance institutions. But it must also be made clear that some of these institutions, were licensed under the Bank of Ghana Act, and now we have. That's the interesting part. We have the Banks and Specialized Deposit Taking Institutions at 930. Yeah. So now you have banks and specialized deposit taking institutions who are regulated under Act 930, and then you have the money lenders, and non-deposit taking institutions who are still under the Non-Bank Financial Institutions Act of 2008. So there's been, as I said, we've gone through a lot of processes, and the regulation always responds to the changes within the economic environment. So industries evolve, new technologies come up. There could be emerging threats. There could be some gray areas because the law wouldn't at a go be able to cover probably all aspects of it. And therefore, there must be regular review of the law, be it processes, be it emerging, risks and other issues that could impact on the performance of that particular industry. Sisi anaka 137 microfinance companies. And yet likely some of them have new licenses be able to work. Well, we made it very clear. We are going to look at the reforms of the sector, which is already started anyway. So, and see, now we are going through a process. Once we are finished with this process of, trying to make sure that we strengthen the institutions now, then the way forward will be made known to the public by the management of the bank. So I cannot speak directly to that issue now. From more commercial banks, you move be free sanka mobile savings and loans companies and sana marche microfinance but microfinance savings and loans there I don't know the thinking between the commercial banks and savings and loans and microfinance. The point now, let's say, we've come to the point where we believe that this is the right time with the resources available now for us to make sure that we protect the sanctity of the financial sector. And therefore, the level of vulnerabilities and weaknesses within the microfinance sector, which actually may be small, but the impact on the real, economy in most of the, rural areas or most of the underserved areas, this is the time to address those weaknesses. And as a central bank, we always have our pulse on every part of the system that we supervise, be it payment systems, be it on the market conduct through financial stability, be it supervision, which actually involves the universal banks, the finance houses, microfinance, microcredit companies, and so on and so forth. So it's just a case of, the structure of what we want to do and how we can get the system and the structure to go together nicely. At the right time, if there's any further action that needs to be taken, it will be taken. And let me also be very clear, I don't even, as I sit here, don't even know what is happening in the SNL sector because it's under a different supervision department. And my role is purely on the microfinance sector. And also the microcredit companies. That is the microfinance companies and the microcredit companies as well.
With microcredit, what kind of no receiver was appointed. I hear say from Nkomo and Mr. Nipadi, Omono was call the Registrar General's department, right?
They will go through the Registrar General's department. We have already written to the Registrar General's department and we've made them aware of the action that we have taken. So their names will be struck off the books. That is what the law says. And they'll go through the official liquidation process. So that is how that is going to be handled.
Now, customers and Sabese de account
and the receiver will make known the processes that entails as well.
But the receiver is yet to be appointed, right?
Well, you see, the receiver is yet to be appointed, but it doesn't involve receivership. You see, when you go through the official liquidation process now, it spells out clearly the procedures involved in the winding up situation. For example, if you are doing an assetless liquidation process, of course, if it is assetless now, then you are not going to realize any value from anywhere. But when you are going through a situation where there are assets available, then the assets which are available will now go through some, form of process to make sure that some value is actually realized. But let me say that, yes, there's no receiver involved at this stage, but we still need to understand exactly what was happening in specific institutions that led them to the situation in which they found themselves. Because most of them became highly geared. And in a gearing concept of this nature, what we mean is a beer where you have taken on more debt than you can actually support. And in that situation, say, even as an individual, ordinary person, say, is a car, what do you know, borrow your capacity to pay. And of course, there's only one way out of it. You should book at your friend or all kinds of names. But when we bring it down to our very level now, you tell us perfectly what the situation is.
Mami Musa, this final question. Your name is Nipadi Nkomo and me who say customer be a OTA, I was so called a branch and na save one and perform validation forms near then on fail or more staff on standby but somebody just sent me no a customer PIMCell, that's PIMCell Microfinance Company. Now, company need notice about one a name hosted. The management of PIMCell Microfinance wishes to announce to its customers that Bank of Ghana has ceased the operations of PIMCell Microfinance Company effective 31st May 2019. Thank you. And we are told, sir, there are no staff in the NT. For our customers, what should they do?
I think if what you are saying is the right thing, then we will look into. I will look into it personally and then make sure that it is rectified. Now, the process as the receiver described, I didn't listen to that interview. It's quite clear. It is a structure that we are supervising as the central bank because the law mandates the central bank to be working, with the receiver and making sure, say, we are fully aware and abreast and very much on top of exact receiver is doing. Now, the process is that if you're a depositor and you go to a branch, an office or the branch of a microfinance company now, we have what we call the proof of debt form, the POD. Now, for proof of debt form now, there are there are specific areas. You put down your name, you put down the amount you are owed, and, you also need a proof of ID normally there. So when these things are presented now, there's going to be a registry of depositors that will be created by the receiver. Anything the receiver, let's say, Mama, me 10 days, I'm going to look into what is happening in the various institutions. Within a period of 30 days, you would have seen a lot of progress that would have been made in the area of paying out the depositors. Now, fundamentally, this whole process is done in a way, say, the person making sure that it is so seamless, it is not tasking. Now, depositor or no institution, be a year, Juma, I could be to be a decision banner. So, yes, so Yakoma, or how which are avoidable. It is if there is a situation, a particular institution can go ahead and notice and it will be looked into. But the process of Ghana this action now, a Bank of Ghana is taking, it's all to make sure that the depositor is not worse off. In fact, bringing the depositor to the level of restitution, to the level where they will be very, very comfortable. Because, mind you, we also have an eye on financial inclusion. So at every time in we don't want people to be financially excluded. We want people not to be out of the financial system. And therefore, we have an eye on that. Our role is not rather to bring more pain, but to make sure, say, every depositor is fully
unfortunately, there is not much consequence, for negligence, at least on the part of the regulator. Because in Komo as a former in the Bank of Ghana, Momo part of this whole problem, focus on form kakrao. You don't even want to admit, say, bibia never sang kamo going forward, can we see, say, nipa bi wo supervision department ha na wasanko ye adwuma A B wanye asotwe da ho ma sa nipa no enie? Can you assure the Ghanaian people, so because 900 million aban dia be mene wa tax ene de koye sade?
I mean, also who say I have management. Now, management oversees the strategic direction of the institution. And the bank is led by a very competent management team. They look at the way forward and they make sure that they come up with the right policies as and when needed. Internally, Nankasana, I can assure you, say, there's been a lot of things going on to make sure that capacity within Nankasa is also brought to a certain high level again, even to build on what is already existing. We are making sure that integrity at work, that is where we have ethics, right, a forming core part of what we do, is fully, embedded in every aspect of the work that we do. Just last week, staff, the governor, our staff, we have a new, ethics direction that is introduced in the institution. We may not be out there talking about some of these issues, but we also realize, say, yes, in as much as it is important for us to develop the industry to make sure, say, poor governance structures, weaknesses, capital deficiencies, poor credit administration, delinquencies, and all those things are highly, managed, and they will bring the industry to a much stronger level of, trust with the general public. We must also look within. So, at the right forum, I think that the governor will address some of these issues. But let me also say that at every opportunity that he has had to talk about the banking resolution process, for example, he has never ever shied away from the responsibility to say, wherever he finds a situation whereby any staff member has become complicit in any situation, that person will be shielded. He's never shied away from that. And if you look back on all the speeches that he has given on the issues of this nature, he's always made that very clear.
But beyond the speeches, ni intimi share then but Oman, now also a question.
Well, Ms. Otabel, thank you so much for your explanation. But I'm a bit worried here because central bank, Bribia Dano say, Moba Namobe streamline, Namo regulate, na internally, they be amokache more than your me go akwemu, but we don't feel, we don't see her. I think there's a little bit of responsibility on your part. You failed us. On certain parts, how much is the Abidu Sam Pempenshui? Why are you not admitting that there are certain challenges the bank has, central bank war? Abidu Sampen. Because ordinarily, maybe the secret to baby. Once I see a microfinance, immediately say when you to me a film hosu be tibe this ejumano ana mediaba. And from these years up to this time, namotime tu anamo afida mosimo regulate. Who and what are the measures Mudigu Akwem, and who is going to be held responsible? Because without that responsibility, Mubaba Bakika Bofaka say kama say achire kama, but still it will happen. Because if I cast my mind back, you bet back start fi R5 ne Piram ABC Miami Kroma afudesi afudesi ND can say DKM ne Justa Motors ne God is love as ABC and the current situation here. Mabom humodi amotusa na mo esefate. But the question is that for how long would we continue as on mine supervised by our central bank and your confidence in Moon? They be at the number with this explanation. See you animal.
Thank you very much for your answer. We will elaborate and I think passionate, request. But let me point out one thing to you. You mentioned R5, you mentioned Pura, you mentioned Justa Motors, God is love, and so on and so forth. Let me be very clear here. There is a clear distinction between a licensed microfinance institution and then unlicensed microfinance institution. With that clearly stated, let me go back to the other statement because they are connected somehow. Your other colleague made on the fact to say we must admit we have problems and some challenges and all of that. Look, one biggest challenge that any regulator will face globally is the attitude and the conduct of the person regulated or the institution that is regulated. That's one fundamental thing. Then the other aspect now will come to the element of human credibility that I alluded to the last time. If a central bank comes out to say public notices at all times, say, if you are going to invest your money, because we are not, sadly, operating a financial system type, we only appeal to you. And with supplication, we expect to say, let's say, say, this company, for example, God is love, Justa Motors, they are not regulated institutions, they are only in Dinky Town. And the very people now, they go and live with these institutions and they are able to also accept, thinking that they are rather deceiving the central bank. And then this institution would now come back and tell them, say, they are fan clubs. They are secret institutions. And within that concept, they come up with this network marketing type of actually taking money from people. When it is good for them, you never hear of them. Now, when it gets to the stage where the actual criminal or the fraudster has been able to amass a certain level of money that they put the world, this is the time for us to run. This is now the time for us to now enjoy our booty. That is when all these people come up. What do I mean by that? In the nutshell, you and I, every one of us, we have a responsibility to play in this whole regard. And then we can have a very strong economy for every one of us to enjoy. If the media, for example, would desist from advertising institutions that are not licensed, if the media probes further to look into the details of these institutions, and you are able to have programs that interact with the public that much, for them to be able to understand, say, risk and return dichotomy can never be taken away. And that the higher the risk, the higher the return. And if you assume more risk, and then you want to have more returns now, look at the opposite as well. Because when it goes the other way, when you go southwards, you are also going to lose money. So
but Mr. Otabel, the point is, in the case of the microfinance companies, these were licensed by the Bank of Ghana. And that's why Aban are stepping in to rescue depositors. And the unlicensed ones, yes, we can talk about them, the Justa Motors and all those guys. But we are talking licensed. And as part of the licensing, most more part to play to put them in check to make sure say they are going by normal stipulated say omobeye. And in this case, omaleti nyina down, including Monso, Juma and Wasanka moye, a hona ye pese moka ho asem mayen.
Oh, I think so. We've had extensive discussion this afternoon.
Yeah, of course, I know, but still,
that window of unlicensed institution, the window was open. And as the lawyers were saying, once you open that window, we'll get it. Create that impression, say, the license, a unlicensed institution, in part of his example. And I have to make that distinction clear.
Okay.
The discussion that we have had all along has been about licensed institutions.
Yes.
And that is all we're talking about. And when it comes to the regulatory part, and I thought there's been a bit of introspection here. I gave you the development from 2008, the promulgation of the Non-Bank Financial Institution Act 774 of 2008. I told you what has started from 2011. I told you what happened, that from 2015 we decided that we are not going to have any more licenses given and make sure that we concentrate on the already licensed institutions and those that we've done the asset quality review and we've realized that because of vision drift, they've now veered up into an area that the other don't have the capacity to do, they don't have the know-how, they've exposed themselves and they are likely to going to affect the performance of the financial system as a whole. We are no longer going to give licenses.
I get your point.
That I have also not mentioned is we just didn't look at them. We came up, even in the capital restoration plan, we increased the minimum capital to 2 million. And that 30th of June 2008. 18, and how many of them were able to meet that kind of requirement? So I think that let's give credit where credit is due. There is no gainsaying that the industry was so so good, so well managed, and that Bank of Ghana messed everything in that context. You are looking at it from that responsibility point of view, and I think that this action that has been taken is one of the signals that should send to everybody that the central bank is on top of the issues and it is no longer business as usual, and that the industry will now be reformed in the most possible and the best way that will position it as indeed in
other words, no, the central bank under previous management, no, now a business as usual.
I haven't stated about past management, present management, or future management.
Yeah, but you made the point that the central bank now is not business as usual.
I haven't stated the central bank is not now business as usual. I made a very clear submission that for the microfinance institutions that feel that they can just go about their businesses anyhow, it's not business as usual. That you get up, you go. I'm making specific reference to the action that has been taken.
Okay.
That when we realize that the operations that you are involved in and what you are doing is most likely going to affect, because you see there are so many issues involved here that if I should, be talking about it, probably we may be talking to maybe, God knows when. Also, the monetary policy.
But unim said you wakano running to Mr. Tabel. My Musa 2 questions when you fancy or more 347 microfinance companies no staff are na juma wo. What happens to them?
You've lumped it as 347, but earlier you made the distinction is very clear. We have 155 institutions that had already closed.
Yes,
and we've made that clear. So if an institution is closed, it no longer has.
It's closed. Okay.
And then we've also made it clear that the reason why these institutions are now on their knees is simply because they are insolvent. Now, if a company is insolvent, the insolvency test is broad. Loss of profitability, inability to pay depositors' funds on demand. The test is there. All these things are there. So when you do simple calculation, you see, the most important thing is that as central bankers, we just don't base it on conjecture. If you are insolvent, you cannot pay depositors' funds, for example, and you are still out there in the market collecting people's money, assuming that even all those 192 insolvent ones were even paying their staff, which our investigations, even prior to the taking of this action, show that some of them have not even paid their their staff for a considerable number of months. But let's assume that they were all paying their staff and they are still insolvent. The chances are they are using depositors' money to pay their staff. I repeat, if all the insolvent institutions were indeed in the position to pay their staff, even though we did our own analysis and realized that at the level of insolvency where they were, they could not even pay their staff, that it means that the only way forward was simply to use depositors' funds to pay the staff. Now, the issue now here is clear. If you are using depositors' funds to pay staff, and you're already insolvent, and there is no way you are going to get this money back to pay back the depositors, then what happens next? Who bears the brunt? It is very clear. We may be very, very, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. You're looking at it from that point that, yes, no central banker or the governor will take delight in taking an action to put people at a disadvantage. Secondly, no physical resource will be committed to an act that is rather going to be inimical to the welfare of the people.
In other words, Mr. Otabel, the jobs of these people in the 192 microfinance companies are now insolvent but still in operation, no, and yet secured. To put it in plain terms, Meboa.
It is not. You see, you have to listen to an argument in its entirety, not just come in with a snapshot statement that people have lost their jobs. I've given you the scenario. What is the point in you going to work for 6, 4, 5 months? Given the fact that a lot of them probably might even be eating from hand to mouth and you are not getting paid. Then look, consider the other side also. What is the point in collecting other people's money and giving to other people to use as their salary when indeed you know that there's no way you are going to pay back those people when they come back, on demand? So let's not have a snapshot statement, a banner headline, kind of event. 3,000 people have lost their job, 5,000 people have lost their job. Let's look at it dispassionately, and then make a proportionate, analysis of the situation. In that case, then you'll be able to arrive at and say, look, Bank of Ghana, you've taken the right decision at the right time, and then we're hoping that in the foreseeable future, you'll be able to build a vibrant, strong sector that will be able to accommodate all these people that have been able to acquire these skills by way of working in the financial.
Okay, the great decision the Bank of Ghana has taken, and it's for the staff of these companies, no, because omo companies no anya nioma papa at a point no deposit sika atria won kanti no, and unlike the banks na some of the workers still are in business adwuma no we mu de Bank of Ghana cannot take care of that, meboa.
The receiver will in due course make it known the fate of all these stuff that you are talking about. Because I've taken the time to explain to you what all these things are. And again, you've opened another window. You brought in the situation to do with the banks. Under a purchase on assumption, arrangement, where a good bank is assuming the responsibilities and some of the selected assets and liabilities of a weak, poor bank, then you have a different structure scenario altogether. This is not the same. We cannot compare the two relationships. And therefore, we cannot look at what happened within the, universal bank, sector to what is happening within the microfinance sector. But then, let me be very clear. In due course, the receiver will make an announcement in this regard. In the interim, as you very much would appreciate, these staff that are working in these institutions are the very ones who have to be around in order to verify depositors' funds, be able to assist the receiver in the network and that sort of thing. So there's something going on.
Okay.
The institution has a role to play in ensuring, in fact, now the institution does not exist anyway. They all come under the purview of the receiver. So in due course, after the end of this process, which, we all be aware, and then you can be able to speak to the receiver.
Yeah, but I mean, your department would have some figures. Number one, in terms of total deposit, what's microfinance companies in Yinahona saying, do we know?
Well, the government has made available the resources to pay off these depositors. And we know that the funds that we've made available, the funds that has been made available to pay these depositors give a very good coverage of the amount of depositors at risk.
How many staff members for all the microfinance companies do we know?
At the last count, based on even those that are closed down, right, the 155, we were looking at something close to 3,000.
3,000 for the 155.
Ekosiisen
Not for the 155. I said at the last check, looking at the 347.
Okay.
Looking at the 347. Yes.
Okay.
The industry here, yes, that's what I'm giving.
Okay.
But again, you see, the receiver has made something very clear. And that is why we shouldn't really veer off into this whole thing. The bottom line is that the decision has been taken by the central bank to ensure that depositors whose funds have been threatened, by the poor management practices, by the complete disregard of corporate governance practice by these institutions, and co-mingling of business, private with business activities, diversion of deposit funds into other private entities that are not yielding the desired returns for them to be able to pay deposits, all those things leading to liquidity problems have threatened and actually caused insolvency of these institutions, and the Bank of Ghana has come in to rescue the situation. Now, definitely, we knew the painful part of it, and these are some of the issues that you are asking. And I'm saying that because of the paucity of records in some of these institutions, once the receiver says, give me 10 days to be able to be in there and be able to come up with these institutions, as you've been able to speak to me and we've made ourselves available, we'll come back and have further discussions on this.
Mr. Bernardo Tabel, we appreciate your time so much. Bernardo Tabel, and I'm telling Kanono, Assistant Director in charge of other financial institutions. Supervision Department Bank of Ghana and I'm saying no AD and Komo Ekosiisen so but Omahene Kwabena Sante ha or the not dwen was answer me ho ebetudwa but answer na no pacho muntie we emame but kan so say and one of the big stories a letter a fee member of parliament for Boko Central Mahama Yarega was it
what makes it a big story?
Oh, Messiah, one of the big stories.
What makes it a big story?
Not any big story.
For what? The letter not trailer.
It's not about the letter, about the entire issue. And the fact that it raises some constitutional law issues.
Go and defend it in court. They are constitutional there.
What kind of letter?
No? Be letter that many say me to me majun for. Esan say mrashe bedwa mra ebo me ho ban mra bra. Yeah, what is there? Me timi sun kokod because but me dia hye e bo me ho ban no me so biri bia da metia me ye adwuma
but me dia hye ben
na se me ye adwuma no pa me yam be adwuma wia
any constitution
let's not do that to ourselves now when go to the court if you have any matter to respond to go to the court mommy nya sa de no bi what is big about this
it's a big story. It's a big story.
Yeah, because some big we will get to the point. That is why these state institutions, no, so we have from so every sabre or Becky also upon our couple of workers. Kick up off and ready. BOG up to this date. You don't want to accept a percentage of some more. You can't talk big English and you go your way. Is that what you want to hear? Obi, baby, I do know the way we are suffering as a country and as a nation. You see, Katsinya Femia grow. Yambe tutu sika jeje musa mo bia mekeka profa kese santre na onfa hu ndi say there's no iota of responsibility on the part of the central bank. It's bad.
Oh, basa wankasa.
Na dio cheche mo said na opushi kofa hono no onye de. Di okano no. Me catch your motor with traffic light na enye adwuma enye adwuma. Diversion the motor ekuku nipa o. Insuto ekumasi wa western region. Say o yakwan ebu afaso enye papa. We have a problem. Let's not be doing this to ourselves. You are privileged to be a member of parliament. You are not above the constitution of Ghana. Please, if you have an issue, go to the court.
Meba yebeko sansem ni nyine mo mahene Kwabena Santo yene Professor Kweku Azabedi nkomo afa Mahama Yarega letter no and the content thereof. Enra me kan letter ni we na say wow. This country is an interesting country. But yekwaba yebedi san come on after this short break. Stay with us.